Hi there, welcome to my channel. I'm Alice, Stormy Stitcher. A really big thank you to everyone who watched my first ever FlossTube video that I put up a couple of days ago, and a really big thank you to those people who left me a comment or liked the video. That was really appreciated. It's a bit nerve-wracking putting something out into the world, so it's nice to know that people watched it and enjoyed it. That was lovely. So this is my second FlossTube video. At the end of the first one I mentioned that I would probably film a whip parade at some point just to show you all the projects I have on the go at the moment. It will hopefully give you a bit of an idea of what my tastes are when it comes to stitching, which are quite varied and quite eclectic. I think there's a bit of everything in there probably. So I'm going to split this up into two videos, so two parts of the whip parade, just so you don't fall asleep, because it's quite a lot. And I'm not going to bother showing my most recent Mania 2020 starts, because there's 31 of them, and I showed some of them last time. So yeah, I'm not going to bother putting them into the whip parade, especially as a lot of them are very small and will be finished soon, so I'll show them in future videos as finishes as well. Okay, so let's get going. The first one I've got to show you is this. This is Leslie Tears Birds and Blackwork Stitch Along. So it started in January of this year, January 2020, and each month she releases a new block, so there's going to be 12 altogether. It's on the website creativepoppy.com rather than on Leslie Tears' personal website. As you can see, I'm woefully behind. I haven't stuck with this one at all, but that's the nice thing about a stitch along. You don't have to do it as soon as it comes out, you can wait. A lot of people do. For instance, my grandma, who is also stitching this piece this year, is completely up to date. She's got 5 blocks done, and I expect when the June one comes out in a few days, she'll crack on with that really fast as well. So I love the colours in this. They're like really tropical, really bright and lovely. I'll show you the rest of the colours as well. So for that border I did a Holbein double running stitch, I think that's what it's called, which just made it easier to manage that border pattern. And here is the floss. So as you can see, lovely bright tropical colours. So there's a bit of DMC I already had in my stash, and then my grandma very kindly not only bought me the pattern and signed me up for the sale, but also gave me the money to get the rest of the floss that I was missing. There we go, so that's that one, the Leslie Tears Birds and Blackwork Sal. Okay, next one is one I'm very excited about. This is from Cunning Cross Stitch, who is a designer called Stuart Cunningham. The Harry Potter, it's not called that, it's called Letters from Hogwarts, Stitch Your Own Adventure. Okay, so as you can see it's Harry Potter themed. I'm a bit of a Harry Potter nerd, loved the books when I was a kid, loved the films. And the way this works is, it's quite a unique way of doing a cross-stitch project. So every 2 months, Stuart releases a PDF file, and within that, the idea is you're a student at Hogwarts and you're writing letters home to your parents, all about the magical adventures you're having at Hogwarts. And within each chapter of the Stitch Your Own Adventure, there are some choices to make. So I don't know if any of you know the Choose Your Own Adventure books, so I'm going to say it's wrong, it's something like the Warlock of Something Mountain. I used to love them when I was a kid, so it's a story that you read and you have to make choices and the choices affect what happens. So this is just like that but in cross-stitch form. Anyway, sorry I'm rambling a bit. So I'm still working on the introduction at the moment, so I haven't actually made any choices apart from the wand. That's the only part that I've got so far that is specific to me. And so the way I chose my wand was I rolled dice, and the number that I got corresponded to the wood that the wand is made out of. I believe mine was birch, and the 2 patterns, so there was 1 pattern for this end of the wand and 1 for this end, so I ended up having a lovely red jewel on the end of mine, a ruby probably. And I've stitched most of Hogwarts, so I've still got to fill in the middle, and I made a good start over here on the Hogwarts Express. And then you've got 2 owls which sit on either end of this top banner, and then you've got the house coloured swirls for the 4 houses of Hogwarts. Down here though is where it's going to get really interesting. So at the moment I think 3 of the chapters that go on the main part of the piece have been released. The first one is a house banner, so I'm a Ravenclaw loud and proud, so my Ravenclaw blue banner is going to go here. Then bottom centre is to do with Quidditch, so at some point I've got to decide what my Quidditch position is, what part of the team I'm in, and stitch something to do with that. And then the other part that was released, I believe, yeah, it must have been start of May. That's all to do with lessons. So there's a few different options. You could do either a runes lesson or a divination lesson or care of magical creatures, and you stitch the appropriate thing down there. So this is a completely free pattern. It's all available on Stuart Cunningham's blog, but the easiest way to find it is to join the Cunning Cross Stitch Facebook group. That's how I found it in the first place. This fabric was a white piece of 14 count Aida, which I tea and coffee dyed myself, and I followed the Real Housewives of Cross Stitch's tutorial, Priscilla and Chelsea Blaine. So yeah, have a look for that on YouTube if you want to know how to do it. It was really fun and really easy to do. I basically boiled up a big pot of tea and coffee and stuck the fabric in, let it sit for about an hour I think, and then took it out and put it in a hot oven just on the baking tray, and that then kind of sets these nice, you scrunch it up on the baking tray and it sets these lovely, I'm pointing at the wrong bit, these lovely kind of dark patches which make it look like a bit of old parchment, and that's exactly what I wanted. So yeah, really happy with this one, looking forward to turning my attention back to it at some point and getting on with a bit more. Okay, that's that one. The next one I have to show you comes from Caterpillar Cross Stitch, which is a company from the UK, and this was their 2019 Christmas stitch along. You can see a theme with the stitch alongs, I've got quite a few of them. So this is called Deck the Halls, and they released a pattern, I think it was every 2 weeks, in kind of October, November, December last year, 2019, and I love it, it's great. I love that kind of modern typography, and I love the little pictures that go with each saying. Yeah, and I was going quite well on this. I was keeping up to a point, and then I got really, really busy at university, so I didn't have time to then stitch the other parts that came out. So I think I've done 3, and I've got another 3 to come up, I think, to do. I mean, I need to write the word hang at the top here, so it's hang stocking. Dress tree, build snowmen. Let me show you the floss and stuff that came with that. So I bought this one as a kit, straight from Caterpillar Cross Stitch. And because it was a mystery stitch along, they blur out the picture so you didn't know what was going to come. And here's the floss. Comes on a really nice card, already sorted and everything. Lovely bright Christmassy colours. So there we go, that was that one. A bit more work to do on that still, as you can see, but not too bad. Okay, the next one comes from this book, which I bought last year from Lakeside Needlecraft. They got loads and loads and loads of designers to design a small chart. None of them are bigger than, I think it's either 60 by 60 or 50 by 50. Anyway, they're all nice and small, nice and manageable. So I have done this one. That's not what I'm going to show you now, but I've done that one as well. Let me see if I can quickly find the one that I'm about to show you. Here it is. So this is the piece I'm working on now. I don't know if I will finish it up into a pillow. I've never done that before, that would be a bit nerve-wracking. I just love the warm coziness of this. So let me show you my work. I really did a big push on this one because it was my whip go piece in either April or March, one of the two. Here it is so far. Sorry about the hoop marks and the wrinkles. So I've almost finished that central panel. In fact, no, I haven't, because I haven't done the snow down at the bottom here, so that still needs to be done. And then I need to finish off that square border around the edge. But yeah, not going too badly, just on 14 count white Aida. Looking pretty cool, pretty happy with that one. Okay, that's it for the book. Now my next one is probably my favourite whip. It's so hard to choose, but this is definitely up there somewhere. So this is Cardinal Points, which was a collaboration between Long Dog Samplers, who are in the UK, and the Gentle Art, who are, I think, a US company who make beautiful over-dyed floss. They might do fabric as well, I'm not certain, but I mean, look at that. How can you look at that and not think that's gorgeous? Look at the beautiful colours. So this was a birthday present last year, and it was my first time using over-dyed floss, or fancy floss as some people call it. So it's all Gentle Art colours. They're in a bit of a knot. But yeah, I just think that's absolutely stunning. And so some of these have got variegations, so I had to learn all about how to get the most out of the variegation, like how to start and finish my floss in the right place, had to learn to make 4 X's all the time and think about where to move next in the pattern. But yeah, I just think they're pretty stunning. So let's have a look and see how far I've got. Not very far. Started in the middle with the words, because I thought that would be a good place to start so I could then centre all the other elements around the words. And I've seen so many floss tubers doing this. I've seen Brenda, the handwork maniac. I've seen Pam of Pam and Steph and Just Keep Stitching doing this one. It's a good pattern that's got lots of fans, I think. So the last thing I did was the little dog over there. And yeah, I'm looking forward to getting back to this one as well. Part of me wishes I'd done it on even weave. So I think, is this 14 count? Yeah, it's 14 count Aida. I knew I wanted to do it on a bright white to make the colours pop, but I really wish I'd done it on even weave. I mean, nothing wrong with Aida at all. As you've seen, a lot of my things are on Aida. It's just that I think something about that would have looked nicer on even weave. I don't know, how to describe it. Anyway, so that's that one. Now, this one is one that I've done a lot of work on recently. This is Autumn Cat from Soda Stitch. I think Soda Stitch are a Korean company, and they have got a massive number of patterns that I want to stitch someday. They specialise in this kind of cute kawaii style. And once I've finished Autumn Cat, I may have to go back and get all the other seasons. Can't have a lonely Autumn Cat. Here it is at the moment. So the last time I worked on this, I really focused on getting this pumpkin done with those, I think there's 3 different shades of orange in there, and when it's back stitched, I think that's going to look pretty cool. Yeah, there we go, and that's on a piece of, I think it's linen, yeah, a piece of linen. There we go. Next up is, I can't show you a picture of this one because I at the moment can't find the original pattern book. I've just got my working copy. But this is going to be a kingfisher with a kind of bit of water behind it, I think, like it's sitting near a pond or a river. Yeah, again, so you can see that a lot of the stuff I do is bright. I really like bright colours. And that's a particularly bright one. And I've gridded that one quite small, so I've done 5 by 5 squares because that's how it's gridded on the chart, and that's been really useful because there's so many patches of similar colours but all over the place. This really helped me to stop getting lost, although I still did get lost many times. There's been lots of frogging on that one. Okay, I'm going to show you another 2 if you haven't already disappeared because I've been droning on. Now, this is one that I started because Christine Slaughter, whose channel is called Stitch All the Things, she started this one as a stitch along, and I started with everyone else, but then fell off the wagon a bit. So this is called Christmas Sentimentals by Stony Creek Collection. So this is a bit more prim than some of my other stuff, but I do like it. I think it's very Christmassy, very cosy. And let me show you. I'm doing it on the Cooled For fabric, which is, let me just check, I think it's lamb something. Yeah, lamb's wool linen, which is new for me. I'm going to hold it the way up now. Let me check which way it goes. That's how long it's been since I've stitched on this. Yes, that is correct. There we go. So not very much done. Just a start on the central plant pot, the central motif. But I just think it's a very, very pretty pattern and something that will be nice to display at Christmas time. There we are together. And the most exciting thing is it's got beads, which I haven't done much with before. So I've got some gold beads, some black beads, and then I had to ask Kate at Lakeside Needlecraft to order me especially 2 of these little star charms, which go at the top of the 2 Christmas trees. And there we go. Oh, and this uses a bit more fancy floss. So it's not just cardinal points. So this is using a combination of Weeks Dye Works, a couple of them, and one Classic Colourworks. Oh, I'm doing a terrible job of holding these up. Let me try again. Weeks Dye Works, Classic Colourworks, and one Brown DMC. Oh, and one more of them. So nice little limited palette, but very pretty stuff. Okay, that's that one. one final one to show you today then is another one that I really love, and I started stitching this one because Brenda, the handwork maniac, started this one. So this is Dimensions Victorian Charm. I got it as a kit, and it's on Dark Navy Ada, which is a challenge, but in a good way. Which way up is it? I think it's that way up, yeah. Oh, there we go. So a very small start on that one. I found this one quite frustrating to start with because it's a smaller count Ada than I'm used to. So it's 16 or 18, let's see. 18 count. It's my first time stitching on dark fabric. I found my threads were really fluffy and all over the place. So I started, I think, with one of these panels. Oh no, it was up here with these dark grey stitches. You can't really see them. But yeah, I really struggled with my tension. But anyway, once I got going and once I could start to see a bit of a picture emerge here, I really got into it and I love this. So looking forward to making a bit of progress with that one. So there we go, I'm going to leave it there for now. That's the first half of my main whips, excluding my mania whips for this year. Hope you enjoyed looking at them all. I'm going to put all the information about the ones I've shown in the box underneath the video if you want to go and have a look for any of them, especially the ones that you can get online. Yeah, so feel free to ask any questions or leave a comment. It'd be lovely to hear from you all, and I'll see you soon with the second half of my whip parade. Bye.